The fact that you didn't want to sell it made me want it more.
That was slick.
You know, people spend years and years and years looking for the holy grail of Japanese swords, worth up to $3 or $4 million.
A lady came in the shop with a really cool Japanese katana sword that her father-in-law brought back after World War II. I just don't know enough to put a value on this, so I'm gonna call on my sword expert, Mike, before I try to cut her a deal.
That was slick.
During the 1800s, there was a great rebellion and a civil war going on, and many factions were trying to take over Japan. This blade was made in 1863 by Nagahiro and was given to the Lord of Choshu to protect Japan against enemies of the emperor, the imperial family, and especially against the Tokugawa, or the military leader. So this is quite an important sword.
Okay, so the question, what's it worth?
Well, in its present condition and the fact that it has very high historical value, I'd say this sword is probably worth about $10,000.
Wow.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay. This sword is a very good buy for the shop because it's a very unique item. Anytime you get a sword that was actually owned personally by the Lord, that's got to be something special.
All right, so what are you willing to take for it? I have to make money on it.
Oh, I realize that. 5? Can you make money at that?
Yeah, I can. I make a little too much money at that. The fact of the matter is, I don't take advantage of people. 5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it. I'm assuming 6,000 is fine since you wanted 5.
Yes, 6,000 is great.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Chum, will you write her up?
I'm gonna write this ticket up, and then I might behead you with this sword, Rick.
Oh.
How
you doing, buddy?
I'm building this weapons room in my house, and what I'm really looking for today is a sword.
Do you have any samurai swords in your collection?
I have some swords, but no real ones.
You know what? We have a samurai sword over here, and we can trace it all the way back to the samurai family.
That's perfect.
What sword are you talking about?
The one your dad said don't sell.
Why is my sword out here?
I sold it.
This store sold the sword for $30,000.
Is the customer still here?
Yeah. Why don't you go tell him you can't buy it?
I will.
He doesn't get his butt whooped.
Hey, Dana, how's it
What's up,
going,
buddy?
man?
Good, how you doing?
So I'm assuming you're the one who bought my sword.
I did.
Okay.
The fact that you didn't want to sell it made me want it more.
Well, you've already paid me, so,
You mad at Chumley?
yeah, it took me 2 years for that sword in Japan to get it back.
It's beautiful, it's awesome.
So I have another sword I just bought. You want to see that one?
Yeah.
Now, this one's pretty amazing. I mean, it's not as old as the other sword, but this one belonged to a Japanese lord.
How much?
That one I'll take 10 grand for.
Well, I just bought half the swords in the place.
Yeah.
Will you give it to me for 8?
Can we do 9?
Yeah, I'll give you 9 for it.
Sweet.
I love the whole Japanese samurai tradition and the story, and it's a beautiful sword, so I couldn't refuse it, so I took that one too.
Chum spent $4,000 on 3 samurai swords, so I'm calling in Mike, and I'm gonna find out how much money I lost.
And it has a signature. You always want to check the tang to see if it's signed, to see if anybody famous made the sword. This title with this type of file marks belongs to a swordsmith known as Naganobu. He's actually well known, he's very famous. Okay, so the blade is in good condition. There's no flaws. It has one small nick. So this is actually a very decent sword. Well, you're lucky on this one too. It's actually signed. So it's full signature here, and the sword is got some good age to it.
Oh, I've been making some good moves.
This sword is signed Soshuju Akihiro. He's one of the most famous makers of Japanese sword history. You know, people spend years and years and years looking for the holy grail of Japanese swords, worth up to $3 or $4 million. Unfortunately, the signature appears to be a forgery. It is from like the early 1400s.
What are they worth?
As a package, you're looking at about $13,000 for all 3.
I'm not gonna congratulate you. It does take skill to win in a slot machine.
You can pay me with a free lunch today.
Wow.
This thing is nice.
This is a catch me out.
This is like one of the holy grails of American coins.
I'll do 95 and that's it.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna take it home.